no AI without context. So I'm going to give you a quick context. I run digital for IndiGo. Digital in IndiGo is more than IT. I run the marketing division, Blue Chip, IndiGo Ventures, a few other areas in IndiGo. But briefly, I mean, what's happening in the world of AI and business, right? What are we doing? Just a quick context. Beautiful world of aviation in India. We're the third largest aviation market today. And look at the growth potential in the next few years, right? 2.3x. Yeah, so wonderful context for aviation in India. IndiGo, one of the largest airlines in the world, 7th largest in terms of operations. We're one of the largest order books in the world today, right? So we've got one aircraft coming every week for the whole decade, right? And we have 54 aircraft inducted in a week, which is like building a new airline, right? So lots going on, a lot of people traveling. I mean, last year we had 118 million customers, diversifying from what was a point-to-point domestic market to international. I mean, this is a true picture, actually. We cover the whole of India. What is beautiful here is 90% of India's population is within 100 kilometers to one of our flights, right? So a big operation, modifying internationally, yeah. And of course, when you look at I was in Dubai for 27 years. I was in Emirates Airlines for 23 of those 27 years. And we used to say, right, anywhere to anywhere, one stop in Dubai. But the beauty of India is anywhere to anywhere, multiple stops in India, right? So potential for building a huge hub here, right? So as I said, one of the largest order books in the history, actually, of the airline world, right? So this is the context of aviation in India and IndiGo, right? A quick context on what's happening in the world of business in AI, right? I get very fascinated by these examples. There's a company in China which has 310, yeah? A financial behemoth in China. 3 minutes to a loan application entry, 1 second for its approval, 0 humans, right? 0 humans, everything through AI. People say, hey man, this AI must be the world of startups, right? Why should traditional businesses bother? Why should academia bother? Why should institutes like this beautiful institute bother, right? There is a mattress company in the US which has diversified, you should look this up, Sleep Number, into a data and healthcare company. They have the largest database of sleep information for humanity, right? And they're able to configure your sleep, and they're tied up with Mayo Clinic. Businesses are fundamentally transforming in the world of data and AI, right? And there are multiple examples, right? John Deere is another one I use. I mean, imagine this is a huge see and spray. They look at a weed, they spray it specifically with AI, and they save 90% of the herbicides that they have to spray, like so. Plus experiences, right? When we were in Emirates, we had this beautiful A380 bird come up. If you have ever flown Emirates, anybody flown Emirates and IndiGo here? IndiGo? Anybody IndiGo? Pretty much everyone. Anybody Emirates? Already a few, that's great, thank you. We designed this A380 product. There's a lounge, business class lounge, and consumers are now pushing. They were happy with products, then they wanted services, then at 40,000 feet, they want an experience, right? So if you go to the lounge, there's that lovely cabin crew. They'll engage with you, and you think, that's great, but it's been designed. I tell you, we were there. We designed the experience for the discerning customers of today, right? Plus, everything is instant, right? Except some of the things, it's unbelievable the change that's happening in front of us, right? If you've got a startup idea today, I suggest look up the net. Talk to ChatGPT, because it's mind-blowing, We started our transformation journey in Emirates in 2013. I've joined IndiGo around 4 years back, 3.5 years back. That's when we started every business model out there is happening today, right? It's wonderful, the world we live in, yeah? A dear friend of mine's out of Constellation Search says, Darwinism is unkind to those who wait. If you don't enjoy change, you're probably going to enjoy less irrelevance, right? Right, so we've started on a journey in IndiGo. I'll quickly come to AI, which we call being digital, because it's not about implementing an ERP system and having a news article saying we are now digital, right? It's about a deep change. We've got a strategy which has these 3 levels. And as you can see, data and AI, when I crafted the strategy 4 years back, was deeply in the capability bit, because data and AI impacts everything, as my friend from McKinsey said, pretty much every process in the business, right? So what are we doing in terms of AI, right? We have, and I tell you, this is evolving, right? I mean, every day there's a change, but at least we have a house, we have a strategy, right? At the bottom of the house, there is AI for everyone, right? We rolled out AI. Of course, the usage is around 30–40%. So continuing the data literacy, making sure 60,000 employees are able to use some form of data, some form of AI, but in a controlled manner, right? So that's, we've rolled out EK Sky. I don't know if anybody has used it. Please try it. We've got 100 crore revenue out of 60 Sky. Every day people are using it for boarding passes. This was not conceived as a engine which answers questions. Of course it does. If you have a FAQ, it'll answer. We conceived of it as a revenue channel. It's produced as a decent amount of revenue. People are going there and booking, right? So if anybody tells you AI is still in experimentation, I wouldn't agree. We've got it live and running, right? Next level is multi-agent. We started this journey 1.5 years back. We've got some amazing kids from IIT Kanpur. They are part of our lab. We've put in around 17 digital employees, right, in IndiGo. We have 60,000 main employees. It's fascinating what these agents do. They work 24/7. They don't complain. They don't ask for increments, right? They don't take leave. They just produce a great outcome. I hope to scale it this year. What we are experimenting with above that is, can we take a department of IndiGo? We are not there yet. This is just thoughts, and actually run it autonomously, right? And beyond that, we believe there is discovery. And then, the classical world, it's unbelievable what's happened in the last 2 years, right, with agentic, right? This is now being deemed as a classical world, the world of neural networks. But we are looking at it and saying, how can our core business processes leverage the next level of optimizations? Airlines have always had billions of data, and we've always had optimizers for years, right? But the next level of optimization with deep learning, right? So Sky is up there producing revenue. This is beautiful, right? The agents, we have these 7–8 agents. As soon as you go to our website or our app and you start engaging with us, these agents wake up in the agentic world of IndiGo and they give you some offers. And if you accept or don't accept, they kind of take feedback, right? Then agentic, this is a bit too much detail, right? But of course, there is no AI without AI governance and security. It exposes you to new kinds of threats. So we are working through all of that, right? Now, finally, Amit said, please conclude by saying, so that's the context of India in aviation. That's IndiGo for you, a high growth company, right? That's happening, that's what's happening, 310, right, in the world of AI. That's how we are responding. But finally, the question arises, all you good people in the room, me as Neetan Chopra and not CDI of IndiGo, what should we do, right? How should we respond? Because all transformation finally is within, right? As we all know, right? So listen, a few thoughts from my side. I'm sure this erudite conference and PEEP Conclave has many more thoughts on this, but a few things from my side, right? First and foremost, get on with it. Get on with it, right? This is not a jargon going to pass you by. Get on with it, get your hands dirty, right? And it's just a click away in the world of internet that we live in, right? We got on with it 2 years back. We put Sky in front of our customers. There's 100 crore revenue out of it, right? So we got to get on with it as humans. We used to have this beautiful, I was in India for most of my education. We love learning to know. We love it, right? We learn to know. I think it's reversed now, right? We need to know how to learn every day, Unlearn, learn. This world is unbelievably fast, right? So that competence of learning, which is this beautiful institute and where we are, is kind of critical to this world we live in. Keep calm and keep curious. As I said, any business model you might have already been done, right? So how many times in the day do you converse with ChatGPT on something that's curious to you, right? So being curious, I think, is equally important. I run IndiGo Ventures. We've just done a 450 crore close. I'm now immersing in the beautiful world of startups in India, the young kids. They are taking some real moonshots, right? And why can't we, right? Why can't we take those moonshots? With AI, it's possible. If you deploy AI as a companion, dream big and take moonshots, right? Whichever field you might be in, right? Network, this is crucial. Network with AI and network with each other. Right? But finally, right, I'll just conclude with this one last slide, right? The left side is a painting from the age of Renaissance. If you remember that age, there was no photography, right? So people used to paint what they saw, right? And a person looking at it would just see that, right? The right side, any guesses what is the right side? What kind of form is the right side? What kind of form of, what form of art? Abstract, modern art, right? The audience in modern art, what do they do? So, you're observing that art form. What do you think the audience does? Perceive differently, Modern art, the fundamental difference is you, as the observer, are part of the art, unlike Renaissance, right? So my reach out to you as I conclude is, you have to be part of this wonderful age of AI transformation, because if we don't want to be the change, this is going to pass. Thank you very much, guys. I'm happy to take any